What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I am here with my student DJ. I just want to bring him on here today because he is absolutely freaking crushing it. He got monetized. He joined our program, got monetized in 1 month, and 1 month later, he is making $10,000 a month, which is freaking insane. I don't think we've ever seen a result like that before, um, which is absurd in terms of how quickly you got to $10,000 per month. So I just want to bring you on today to share your story, DJ. How you feeling so far, man?
Amazing. I mean, this is incredible. Like the program's kind of given me that motivation to really just, buckle down and do the work, and the results have proven.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane how quickly you took action. It's insane how quickly you got results. So, I just want to bring you on here today to kind of share your story, kind of share your background, because a lot of people might hear these results like, is that even possible? Is that even real? Is DJ a paid actor? And
No,
and
definitely real, definitely real. And I think the big thing was just kind of seizing this opportunity,
yeah,
diving into the unknown, and then all of the challenges and all of the rewards that the program lays out was super motivating, and that's kind of what got me going. I'm a little bit competitive by nature, so I'm like, let's go, let's see if we can
yeah.
actually do this. And it's also a competition with yourself, but having all of the structures of the program just kind of, made it that much more, incentive and better.
So DJ, like before we dive into it, I kind of want to understand your background. What motivated you to reach out in the first place, and really, what was your driving force to get started in a business like this?
Yeah, so I'm a family man, have kids. I work in the creative industry. So the biggest motivational factor was financial freedom and additional passive income, um, just to kind of add, like I'm always looking to add additional revenue streams to my life, because the
Yeah.
more the better, and this seemed like a perfect fit.
Gotcha, gotcha. So,
Yeah.
I'm actually curious, like, you know, w- what specifically were you looking to have in your life that you didn't have previously with an extra source of income? For me, when I was building my businesses, I was shredding paper, I was working a minimum wage job, and
Yeah.
I know I don't want to do that anymore. And I wanted to be able to travel
Yeah.
the world. I wanted to provide for my mom. So those were kind of things that got me
Yeah.
into the online
Yeah.
business. But, what were some of the things that you were looking for outside of just the
Um, yeah. So what I was looking for was really to buy time back, so
mm,
I could spend more time with the kids, with my wife, with my family.
mm,
Um, that was huge because while I am working, I do freelance work. It just consumes so much of my
mm,
life. So kind of
yeah,
like buying some of my time back, and then also giving myself more time to you know do the passion projects that I
yeah.
ultimately want to do.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's so many like business models out there. What made
yeah,
you get started in YouTube automation? I mean, you're already kind of in this world of like content and directing and whatnot. But what
yeah.
what what specifically about this business model really drew you towards it?
Um, I love the idea of like building these mini assets that can just continually like pay you.
Mm,
Um, so, putting that effort into, actually building something, and then just letting it kind of continue to grow and earn money is really cool.
mm.
So that was I think that's the coolest thing about the program. And I didn't know so much about faceless channels or really YouTube in general. Like I never
Yeah.
thought of it as this money making machine. So it really never occurred to me that, you could do this.
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
like I'm sure when you hear it for the first time, you're like, how is this possible? Like,
Yeah.
how you making money without showing your face? Like,
Yeah.
there must have been some apprehensions or fears when you're reaching out or kind of exploring this. So
Yeah.
did you have anything? And if you did, like, what were those in the beginning?
Yeah, completely. Like I didn't think it was a real thing. And
Yeah.
then I was like, no way. Like these people on YouTube like are not making any money. They're just doing this all for fun. Like I had no idea the the inner workings of it. So there was just a lot of like kind of uncertainty, and I wasn't completely convinced that, this could be done. Yeah,
Mm.
or even like be like a profitable thing, because it just doesn't, like, you're not selling anything, or it's just kind of, um, you know, it's a big unknown.
Yeah, yeah. And like
Yeah.
and like ultimately, what was the thing that gave you the assurance to say like, "Oh, it makes sense. Oh, YouTube automation works. Oh, like I want to work with
Yeah.
Paul and I want to work with his team."
So for me, it was baby steps. Like for me, it was okay. I can invest in Paul's mini program and see like what this is about. See if it's even legit. See what the potential is, and kind of like, get my feet wet. So that was it.
Mm.
And then after that, I was like, okay, I can see how this works. Like I need more.
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of got the tester. You're like, oh wow, like this isn't just a scam. He's
Yeah,
not just gonna run away with the money. He's actually gonna give me something. And then based on that,
exactly.
you saw the value there, and you're like, hey, I want to work with him on a closer level.
Exactly. So I did the mini program, took it in super fast, like just consumed all that information, and I'm like, okay, like I get it now. I can see how this could work. And then even then I took full action. I'm like, okay, like let's go, let's get it done. And then launched a channel, did it, had like, and then like 10, 12 videos. And they were doing all right. Like we didn't get to full scale monetization, but
Mm.
we got subs, we got views, like, we were in it. And I was like, okay, this works.
Yeah.
Um, but in order to like really take it a step further, um, like I need more, and like, YouTube wasn't providing it. It's just like, when you're trying to get, good information,
Yeah.
it's just like kind of, I don't even know, needle in a haystack. Everybody's got something to say.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
after joining our main program, I mean, you went from zero to all of a sudden $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like in your first month monetized. That's pretty insane. So I guess like what were the
Yeah.
key differences that kind of clicked for you after joining our program and learning from our coaches and learning from everything that we got in here that may help you get those results?
The biggest thing was research, niche research, was really understanding kind of like the mechanics behind you know YouTube, and what you guys teach in order to launch a channel.
Hmm.
Um, so you know, having more views than subs, and like all of these things. Looking for blue oceans, the yoink and twist, the format transfer, like all of these like tools,
Yeah.
kind of were like, okay, let's go. That was really what kind of made the difference.
Yeah.
All of the other stuff I carried, like all of the lessons that I learned from the mini course and the previous channel, kind of just carried over. So there wasn't a lot of like learning curve there. So I didn't have to, figure out how to hire a team or figure out what a good thumbnail artist looked like. Like that was
Yeah.
all kind of like, all right, I got this. Like, and there, I already had people saved on Upwork, so it's like, okay, I can,
That's
draw
awesome.
from this experience and this experience, and this worked, but this didn't work. This is the kind of
Yeah.
editing that works. And all of the stuff that you had in the program, like all of the, script writing and video editing and all of these different components, those were also really good for kind of refining the actual video.
Yeah.
So just these little, what YouTube likes, and these numbers to reach, within analytics,
I
and
love that.
these little tweaks.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
so
it.
that was kind of it. Yeah.
So, knowing what you know now, what would you
hmm
tell yourself back then, the person that had apprehensions or fears,
Uh,
about YouTube automation, about Paul, about all the coaches in our program and our community?
I mean, I would have jumped in a lot sooner. I probably would have just done it right off the bat. I
Mm.
wouldn't have, like, you know, like the way of the cross, like I wouldn't have, I would have just like just done it as opposed to this like kind of trial and error or, I think I can figure it out myself kind of mentality. I would have just
Mm,
like signed up and just done it right off the bat.
gotcha, gotcha. And like,
Yeah.
you know, uh,
Yeah.
and everyone has their own journey, and that was a journey that helped you get to where you are today. So,
Yeah.
after accomplishing what you accomplished, I mean, in such a short period of time, how do you feel right now? How do you feel about the future? How does your life
Um,
change? I mean, like just kind of seeing $10,000 magically appear online, creating stupid
yeah.
videos like that must be pretty
Yeah.
absurd, no?
I mean, it's still pretty crazy. Like I still can't like completely wrap my head around it. And if anything, it's given me the confidence to just like continue going and see where this can go. And after going through the whole program, like I kind of see the light. Like I see, it's almost like you can see like the inner workings of how YouTube works, and it's you can just pull from all these different elements and you know create that Frankenstein
Yeah.
and just put it out there. Um, so yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
And now knowing this, like, how do you see the future for yourself, for your family, for your kids? Like now you have a way to like generate income online with just a
Yeah,
few ideas.
I mean, it definitely gives me just kind of like I guess, some reassurance that like there's other ways to to earn money. Like I've been kind of like in the field for so long, and like sometimes you have great months, sometimes you don't have good months, and this is kind of like an additional like almost backbone that was like, okay, we have this, we can always like fall back on this, we can always
Mm,
build more channels, or um there's a lot more possibilities like just in life now.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's very very powerful, and like I guess real time of what those possibilities look like for yourself and also your kids. Like, well, what does that look like? Does that look like going on more vacations? Does that look like traveling the world and working remotely? Like, you know,
um yeah, I mean, all that stuff is like uh like honestly, like before, kind of like settling down and being a family man, like I
yeah,
spent all my 20s, working remotely and traveling the
yeah.
world. Um,
Okay,
so now
you're
it's
probably sick
more,
of it.
yeah, now it's more like I tell my wife, I was like, like I got luxury fatigue. So
Yeah.
um, now, now that I have kids, like, like I'm happy to go back to that. But I think for me right now, it's just kind of home building. It's
Mm,
like kind of like, stabilizing. It's kind of just like growing like physically, mentally, spiritually, like all of that, just kind of a little bit more like settled in one place.
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I see YouTube as like a wonderful vehicle for that,
Yeah.
and give me the freedom to kind of do like if I do want to travel and like have an experience, like it would be a little bit more meaningful because like we're doing it together as a family, and um, it's a little bit more intentional and not as like go go go, which it was just kind of fun in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
yeah, like a different place in life, I guess. But
Got it.
um, yeah,
So so for the person watching this,
mhm,
they're a family man, they have kids,
yeah,
they're settling down, and
yeah,
they might feel like they're too busy, or they feel like they are not tactical enough, or on with the trends
yeah,
enough to be able to become successful with this online business, YouTube automation,
yeah.
right? What would you tell them? What words of encouragement would you have for them to help
Um,
them succeed?
I would say that it's totally doable, and it's really, if you study all of the modules and you follow all of the advice and you focus on like really creating like standout content, like the best content that YouTube has ever seen, like if you have that as a benchmark, like within your niche, um, like that's what that's what I would focus on and just chip away at that like day after day after day, and then I think the results will kind of show for themselves.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, like,
Yeah.
what if someone says, "Hey, like, I don't know if I can create the best content. Like,
Yeah.
I've never created content in the past before. What would you tell
Yeah.
them?"
Um, I mean that's tough. Like I would say like just baby steps, like just really focus on like all of the little ingredients that need to come together, you know, to make this one little video. Like, the script, the editing, the thumbnail, the title, like all of these things like deserve like 110% attention. And then you need to compare. Like you need to look at that thumbnail and you need to compare that thumbnail to all the other thumbnails that are out there and be like, does my thumbnail really stand out amongst these thumbnails? Is this a good thumbnail? And just ask yourself that. And I feel um if you have some kind of like awareness, you'll be able to see that. Maybe there's some people that can't, but I feel like you'll be able to kind of see that and
Yeah.
be like, okay, something needs to change there. And that's where the coaches can come in and kind of be like, okay, this element maybe isn't working, or this element, because if you can't see that, then it's hard. But you can, I think, just tell that it's not good and it needs to be better.
Yeah. 100%. Well,
I don't know if that's advice or not, but I feel like that's kind of
yeah. Well, I mean, just
visual literacy, which you teach.
yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just taking one step at a time. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you can't run without crawling first.
yeah,
You gotta crawl, you gotta walk, and before that, eventually you'll be able
yeah,
to run a marathon. And
exactly.
and I think of online business the same way. It's like if you can't do something, well, it's not just sitting there and crying about it, but like figure out, okay,
Yeah,
what do I need to do to figure it out? How can I
yeah,
learn? Who do I need to
yeah,
learn from? Right? What are the
exactly. Yeah,
steps to get me to where I am? And and
yeah,
and I'm sure one of the reasons why you decided to, buy one of our programs in the first place and join our main program is because you probably knew, okay, Paul knows how to do it. If I learn from Paul, I'll just expedite my process to get there rather than just kind of
yeah,
figure everything out yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah. Totally, totally. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all these little steps that are super important, that you need to really pay attention to.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know, uh, you know, what are some last words that you have here for the audience that is watching? A lot of people may be in a position inspired by your story. They want to get results like you. They might be a little bit hesitant. What are some last words?
Um, I feel like you really can't lose. There's it's almost like, if you sign up for this, you're almost guaranteed to win as long as you really put your head down, you focus on all of these little elements, and it will work. It will work 100%. Um, not everybody will do it in a month, but everybody will do it if they just keep working on it.
100%. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
if anyone were to say that your results of getting $10,000 a month the first month is normal, it's absolutely not, right?
yeah,
But is it possible? 100%.
yeah,
Whether it takes
yeah,
1 month, whether it takes 3 months, whether it takes 6 months, I don't care.
yeah,
If I want to
yeah.
succeed for myself or my family, I'll do whatever the hell it takes for me to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, like honestly, like I wasn't focused on the money. I was focused on just doing like a really freaking good channel. And and then
Then the
knowing
money
that
naturally
like if
comes.
if I did that, like the money would come. So I wasn't like focused on $10,000 or five
Yeah.
thousand dollars a month or like all of these things. Like I just was like in the weeds, like let's just focus on this video, let's focus on the next video. Okay, what went wrong here, what went wrong there, how can we fix this, how can we get retention up, like all of these things. Like the money was like the last thing. Like
Mm,
okay, the goal is monetization and the 4,000 watch hours. That's the goal. But like all of the steps along the way is like kind of where my head was. um you
Yeah.
know, and I had no idea how long it was going to take. Like I was in it for the long haul. Like let's just do this forever until it works.
Yeah. And the thing is, you bring up a really good point because a lot of people they focus on the end result. And
Yeah,
if they're not seeing those results right off the bat, they get angsty. They get like, this is work, and they kind of lose sight or track of the pathway
yeah,
that they're on. And
yeah,
they start another path and start another path, and you know,
yeah,
and I'm not sure if you've seen this imagery before, this picture. It's like a guy that's digging for diamonds, and like just right as he's about to hit diamonds, he gives up and walks the other way.
uh,
And so that imagery and that picture stands out in my head because a lot of people are like that. A lot of people, whether it's YouTube automation, whether it's drop shipping or Amazon, any business
yeah,
works. But it's
yeah,
like, how can you make it work, right? How can you dedicate to the craft rather than being fixated on the end results? The end result will naturally come if you get the
yeah,
craft down, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was it. It was really just like learning this YouTube beast, like understanding it, understanding the mechanics, like you know, the it's kind of like it's this ocean. You kind of just have to like kind of keep learning about it.
For sure.
Um, yeah, yeah.
For sure. Awesome.
So,
Well, guys,
good
you heard
stuff.
it here first from DJ. Real results, real student, real person who has absolutely crushed it. If DJ can do it, so can you. If he went from nothing, now knowing nothing about YouTube, not even knowing whether or not this business can work for him, to getting monetized in a month and crushing $10,000 in his first month monetized, you can do it too. Maybe not in your first month, but hey, it's possible. It's possible if you put in the effort. So, DJ,
Totally.
appreciate you so much for hopping on, and see you guys soon. Peace out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. We'll see
Thank
you.
you.